Hello and welcome to Colins Time to Bake. This week we're going to be decorating. Woo! So last week you joined me and I was making a vegan sponge. So what I've done is I have taken the vegan sponge that I made last week, watch that video if you want to learn to make it, sliced it into 3 with a little bit of the top, and I'm going to decorate it for you. Now I've got 2 decorations that I'm using. One uses fondant, the other one is just piped icing. I tried to do a naked cake for the second one, which was the floral cake. I don't think it turned out exactly quite right aesthetically as I wanted, and I am still working on my piping practice, so don't judge me if you don't think the flowers are that pretty, because it tasted pretty good. Now this week's episode did actually feature the wonderful Catherine Dickinson, because she was basically Skyping me at the same time as I was doing this, and at one point her and I were sending messages back and forth trying to figure out how to decorate my unicorn cake, because as I started it I realised I didn't have a plan and it kind of went a bit mental, so we tried to basically figure out where the ears and all the other stuff was going to go. So hello Catherine, thanks for your help. So we'll begin basically by putting the layers together with a little bit of our vegan buttercream and some jam. Yum yum yum! Once you have all 3 layers together, feel free to pop this into the fridge just to chill it all together, and it keeps it nice and sturdy. And before you cut your cake, if you were to put this into the fridge, it's actually quite helpful for making it easier to cut all the different layers out so it doesn't crumble or fall apart. Now what you're watching is me putting a crumb coat down for my unicorn cake. A lot of bakers put crumb coats down because it, well, first of all makes the fondant icing stick to the cake, second of all it keeps it nice and together really. So I rolled the fondant out, then I lifted it up using my rolling pin, put it on top of the cake, and I smoothed it up. So although it looks like I'm smoothing down, trust me, I am smoothing up. Well, this little bit here, I'm just smoothing it around. Smooth up the way, otherwise you'll split the fondant. And once you get to a certain point, you want to cut off the edges, trim it round. You can use a pizza cutter if you wish, but I just used a big fat knife. You can see it's starting to split a little bit at certain points, but well, what you gonna do? Again, I am still quite inexperienced in the whole fondanting world, and this is probably like the 8th or 9th cake that I've ever done. It's probably like the 8th or 9th cake that I've ever used fondant on. So this isn't just letting you know, this is not an instructional video, this is just a suggestion for what you can do with your vegan cakes. Okay, carry on. So for the horn, I did use a piece of wooden doweling that I just cut, and I wrapped around some fondant icing and then dipped that in gold glitter. Hey! Put the horn straight in the cake, and then I just started piping, forgetting that I hadn't actually come up with what I was going to do with the cake. But, well, you'll see. So what I thought I was going to do was basically make a cake with the unicorn looking sideways, and then I realised that the nose didn't fit. So what I did was I painted the eye, and then I made a jawline, and it did not quite work. So this is where Catherine and I were basically sending pictures back and forth as to whether we thought the face should be different, and then there was the trouble with the mane, and then we were trying to figure out if it should be dimples, and then the ears became an issue, so we just decided with that. But I'm happy with the final ending, which ended up being an emo unicorn. Emo because of the big fringe, and also because it's full of emotions. Moving on to the floral cake. So I wanted it just to look like a lovely bunch of flowers, and I used my piping nozzle. Apparently they're Russian piping nozzles. You can get them from icedjemshop.com. So if you head on over there and order one, crack on. The consistency of your icing needs to be a specific amount so that it does pipe, but not too gooey, so it flumps out a little bit like mine did, because my hands are always really hot, so it kind of melted everything. So always make sure that your icing is slightly chilled as well. That will help. That's a tip for you. So as you can see, I'm basically starting with pink and yellow, and then I added in a little bit of green leaf. Now I used another nozzle that I don't really know the name of, but I think it's like a leaf nozzle, I don't really know. And as you can see, I popped that in there just to make it look nice and leafy, and when you cut into the sponge, 3 beautiful layers, and then it's time to, well, you know, eat. Ta-da! So that's pretty much me this week. I hope you enjoyed the decorating video. I know it's a bit of a quick one. I quite like decorating cakes, and I want to get good at it, because as if you watch any of my Colins Time for Tea videos, you'll know that I really want to make my own tea shop. So that would be fun to have a specific decorated cake that you know is mine. That's me for this week. My name is Colin, this is Colins Time to Bake. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. it.